He's angry at the police. Everybody knows he's guilty. I suspect even the people that found him not guilty on that jury, I suspect they know he's guilty.
Right.
Well, Alan
really
Dershowitz did an interview, basically saying he was guilty without saying it. He said, why did the prosecution have them try the glove on? The little things that make you think that he thought he was guilty. I'm sure they all thought he was guilty. I mean, you can't be that dumb. But at least he had something to do with it. But it was one of the wildest, craziest trials. But he is now, as Ann likes to say, karma caught up with him a couple of years later.
Right,
First he tried to write that stupid book. Why on earth would you write a book? Right. Nobody's thinking about you. You're out of the limelight. Then you write a book. If I would have did it,
I did it.
No, he didn't. Yeah, no, he wrote the book. If I Did It,
right?
Which is
if
absolutely
I did it.
sick. But then Goldman's father managed to get custody and control of that book and changed the title to If I Did It to I Did It.
Right. Brilliant.
Which I thought was very clever.
It was very clever. Yeah,
and I got Goldman on Tuesday's show reenacting to Marcia, listen, everybody's forgetting about my son. He was the guy who played was brilliant. It was some brilliant acting. They were saying it's just about O.J. versus Nicole, this and that. For heaven's sake, hold a press conference and talk about poor Ron, who was 25 years old and butchered by this evil man.
And by the way, can somebody clarify something for me? Maybe Ann knows something. Was Ron Goldman having an affair with Nicole Brown Simpson? Was there some interest? Was it purely a platonic relationship? That's never been clear to me.
I think that O.J. thought they were, and I don't know that there was ever. And I'm friends with Denise Brown and Tanya Brown, and I don't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do some work with them in Los Angeles. They do great outreach for victims, and they've just done an amazing job since that case to kind of speak out in Nicole's memory. But I don't know that there was ever any evidence that there was an affair there. I mean, he was coming back to return.
He was bringing the
her mom's glasses
back,
right, from Mezzaluna, where they'd had dinner, and it was simply that. But you could imagine if O.J. was lying in wait or came upon them, he imagined something else. Why else would he kill both?
Well, this talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, my God. What a sad, sad case for their family.
For him, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Horrible.
he should have never been involved with Nicole, knowing the history, because there were leaked tapes when she called the police on him. So, this guy was a nut to begin with. Everybody knew. And they really have Howard Weitzman down as they're really making him look like a piece of you-know-what. And
Weitzman had the case, but took him down to be questioned.
Right.
Weitzman let him get questioned, right.
By the way, Ann, you know Denise Simpson, or the family, did they... When they knew Simpson, or the family knew Simpson, did they think of him as this nice, affable guy, a good guy, or were they always suspicious of him and had reason to seriously question the relationship between her and Nicole Brown Simpson?
I don't know enough about that other than to know that they were privy to some of the information about abuse. Remember, Nicole's dad worked for O.J., and the families were close. And I think that, there's always that guilt, like, what if I would have intervened? I mean, I think that, he was a superstar. I think there was some information, about the abuse. But what we knew about the abuse in the trial probably is a lot more than what the family knew. Remember, Denise was a big witness in that case.
Right.
And she really went after him. Remember? She really talked about issues with O.J., and they went after her with a vengeance. And they didn't treat her family as victims, I don't think. I don't think they afforded them, the kind of courtesies we would today, and empathy to families, that have lost a loved one to domestic abuse. And I don't think they even fully explained to the jury why the jury should find that when somebody that abuses somebody and beats them up, and she's putting stuff in a lockbox and telling people he's going to kill me, it means that he might kill her.
Well, how, to the best of your knowledge, Anne, how come Nicole never had him arrested and prosecuted?
She called the cops.
Prior to.
No, she called the cops.
She may have called them, but
they were friends
with him.
Have him
arrested for beating her up?
She called the police when she lived on Gretna Green. Remember, there was that horrible audio tape of him just screaming at her on the 911 call in the background. And but she said that he knew all the cops, and they gave him, a break. That was the testimony I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder about that because the photographs that I recall seeing, she looked like she had the hell beat out of her.
She did.
And if cops show up at the scene and you say, "My husband beat me up," those cops better make an arrest. I don't care if it's O.J. Simpson or not.
I know.
And I'm just wondering if she just acted like another domestic violence victim and said, "Oh no, don't arrest him. We're gonna kiss and make up," which is
I don't know if there was any of that.
Unfortunately, it happens a lot.
It does, but I know that she had talked about that the police were his friends, and she said that on the phone to 911, like you, it's O.J. Simpson. You always give him a break. It's my husband. He beat me up again. You never do anything.
Yes, that she did 2 years prior to the alleged killing of O.J. Simpson. Okay, let's go out to the calls. But that trial was fascinating. I think they'll have the 25th anniversary in 3 years. I was in school. They put the TVs on, and they had everybody, all the kids, watch the verdict as if the president got shot or something.
Yeah, what school did you go to? What kind of a school was this?
This was done in all schools around this neighborhood.
That's hilarious.
They showed the television with the verdict. It was, I'll say, some of my friends were happy and some weren't.
All right.
That's that story. Let's go out to Virginia and say hello to Mary. She's first here on King Jordan Radio on Thursday with Ann Bremner and Alex Sanchez. Good evening, Mary.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi, hello.
Hi,
how are you?
And hi, Alex.
How are you?
And glad to talk to you guys. And I want to just congratulate. It's a little late, but congratulate Anne because she was named National Legal Advocate of 2015.
Thank you.
And I just
congratulations, Anne.
Some
thank
people
you,
Hollywood.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're a sweetheart. Thanks.
There's so many things here to talk about. On the O.J. Simpson, I'm older than Jordan, and I was working in Fairfax County for the county attorney, the big county attorney, not the one of the assistants or the senior assistant, but the main one. And he had a TV in his office, and he was watching it. And I would go, he would let me go in and watch it. We were watching the trial all the time.
Right.
So I remember exactly where I was when the verdict was announced. In answer to some of the questions that you guys posed, I think that regular people like us are us trial watchers, okay, the group of trial watchers, the people that call into the shows to talk to us. We're just kind of fascinated in a way to find out what is it that makes someone that seems seemingly normal, not the crazy ones that look crazy, but someone who has, a seemingly normal appearance and a regular job and something like that, and turn out and do something heinous, like O.J. Simpson, Jodi Arias, things like that. And it's sort of like we want to get into their head and find out what happened. What was it? Is it your upbringing? Were you born that way? You're lacking a conscience? Because obviously they're lacking the empathy towards other people. And I think that's what draws us to these cases. And also for a lot of us, we want to make sure that these people are adjudicated. I mean, that these people get strong sentences and could get put behind bars like they deserve. And especially for me, people that kill children and babies, it's getting to the point that a child is murdered almost every day by a parent. And they call that felony child abuse. To me, that's called homicide. That's a murder. You murdered your child. That should be the hardest thing that you should be charged with. And they sometimes pat you on the back, or they send you to parenting classes. And I cannot understand that. And what do you guys think of that? Because we just had a case of a woman here in Maryland, I live in Virginia, who was had her little boy that she was swinging in the swing, and that child had been dead for like 24 hours.
I read about that case.
Okay, and obviously she is not well, but the judge just sent her away and told her to take care of her mental health. How can someone like that, who's responsible for killing a child, take care of their own mental health? She should have been committed.
Right. Well, I think those are great points, and thank you again for congratulating me. That was a real honor.
You're welcome.
I think that the test of our system really is how we treat our most vulnerable, and those are our kids. And,
right.
You know, we need to deal with the perpetrators that kill them or molest them or abuse them or anything else. And you're right. How does someone deal with their own mental health? We need to deal with people's mental health. It's a huge issue in this country. Was it 1 in 4 people have mental illness? I mean, you know, and that contributes largely to criminality. And she should have been committed. I mean, she was in the swing or had the kids in the swing for days, and the child was dead. You know, I mean, she's dangerous. She killed her own child. How could you be more dangerous? So you're exactly right.
Yeah, you know, Mary, just what you had mentioned before, you know, for, you know, normal or regular people are curious how a seemingly regular person can commit a heinous act. I got news for you. I'm very curious about that myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch some of these shows on TV. I'm constantly amazed. I'm amazed when I represent people that seem, you know, decent enough. You could talk to them, but I'm representing them because they've committed some heinous offense. And I'm constantly amazed at that, and I'm constantly asking myself, you know, what has made this person act like this? I had a guy one time. He was charged with torturing this girl, but in any event, he would come in and he would be like, "Oh, Mr. Sanchez, how are you? Thank you so much for representing me." Seemed like the world's nicest guy, and then the next breath, he would be like, "Ah, ah!" He would turn into a monster. It was incredible. It was like supernatural almost.
Exactly.
So I'm very curious about that too. You know.
What is he lacking, Alex? What is the key? What is the key in his personality that he's lacking, as you observed it?
I think there are brain dysfunctions, and Bremner hit it on the nose again. People have mental health issues. I think there's brain dysfunctions, and I think that
it's
science
the brain. He's
and medical authorities are learning more and more that there's a lot of dysfunction in hormonal imbalances or whatever, or there may be brain damage that is causing people's aberrational behavior, and they're learning more and more about that as science becomes more advanced.
And I'll just finish with one thing, is that the science community is now more and more researching and saying that a psychopath is born and not made. And during development in the womb, something happens where the empathic center of the brain, where you feel empathy for people, where you have a conscience, where you can feel and care for someone else, something happens and it does not develop. And problem. Okay, well, thank you for letting me speak with both of you.
Thank you,
and
Mary.
Thank you.
This great forum.
Thank you, Mary.
And have a good evening. And take care of your daughter when you get off the phone. Give her a call.
Yeah.
I will. Well, what a great
Alex.
caller that Mary was.
She's wonderful.
Appreciate the call. Let's go to Huntington Beach, California. Say hello to Sarah. Sarah, you're on King Jordan Radio with Ann Bremner and Alex Sanchez. How are you?
I'm fine. And King Jordan, I am delighted to speak with all of you. So good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I know you have